All right, I'm inside of the car now. Well, you can tell here that someone was playing with it. They put an aftermarket stereo. I'm in Canada, in BC, Vancouver, and here you have to have the original stereo to get vintage plates, which gives you a huge discount on the year insurance. You pay like, I don't know, $600 a year for the whole car, for the whole year, which is very cheap. Compare with, $100 a month for my Saab, which is an old car, so it's cheaper. And if you don't have accidents, you get discounts and so on. So the thing is, interesting. The thing is that the previous owner of the car, not my friend I bought it from, did all this. So it has a microphone up there, which I might use. I might leave it there. I don't know. But all this is going to go. So yeah, I might get the stereo from my friend, see if it works. So the speakers are connected here, and they're not connected to the original one. So I just want the stereo to just turn on, and hopefully the display will work. So I'm going to install this stereo now. But I need my hand, so I will be back. This is a moment of truth. I hate when I have to stop the video, because then you never know if I actually ever did it. And maybe I send it, it passed a month between the two videos, and I send it to a technician and he fixed it. And then I'm lying to you, but that's not true. I just did it. Just put the stereo, and I'm going to, man, I hope it works. I'm going to turn on the car and see. Well, yeah, same problem. Nope, that was not the solution. You can hear the antenna trying to work, but it doesn't. So you turn it on, and the antenna goes up, but there's no display. So yeah, this stereo must be, you see, yep. And there's no speakers connected, so nothing is going to make any noise. Yep. So nothing happens here, which is what a pain in the ass. Well, I guess this is it. There's nothing to do. Oh, I'm missing the. Nope. There. So this power button works. It's the display that is gone. So maybe there is more capacitors screwed. Yeah, it's possible, or they screw it up with the power of the stereo. So that's possible too. I don't know. Well, I guess I'm going to have to get I'm going to check if there is another Acura that has the same stereo, not just the NSX. Maybe this was made for the NSX only. Who knows? Anyhow, bad news. The capacitors did not change anything. So there must be something wrong. Definitely there's something else wrong. Anyhow, I have a friend that he knows a lot about this, more electronic stuff than me. So I'm going to help, ask him for help and see if I can fix it, but we'll see. Man, second day of owning the car, and I ready to get apart. I guess that's pretty normal for car guys. I don't know. So the stereo didn't work what I did, so that's pretty sad. It looks like there's more capacitor I need to change. There's a humongous amplifier there it looks pretty good to me. Anyhow, that's the old stereo, and yeah, so I have the SRS light, TCS light. I have a bunch of lights on, so I know that SRS could be the module inside the capacitor, so I want to look into that, because I'm replacing capacitors so I can actually test it, and then I would test each individual part and see from there what could it be. what could be to fix it. And there's a bunch of miscellaneous pieces that are broken. I was trying to find if I have a keyless entry thing, but I don't think I have it, because it's this cable up here. I'm not sure, so I think so. So I pulled the codes. There is no codes. So yeah, so I yeah, I don't know what is that for. So I am looking at I'm just trying to figure out all the electronic pieces and all that. That's a humongous amp that someone put there. Is a Pioneer 350 watts. Anyhow, so I think that if this original stereo doesn't work, maybe I will try to get a stereo that could work with that amp. And I'm guessing there's new speakers because someone changed the stereo system. And or like get another Onda Acura dual DIN stereo that I can put on, which is newer than this one, and maybe that can work with the car with that wiring or new wiring. It doesn't really matter. So that, but it fits on in the same place. That's what I'm going to try to find, if that one cannot be fixed. But if that one can be fixed, then the amps are on the speakers, and if that amp is there, maybe the speakers were removed, so I'm not going to have speakers and blah blah blah. So it's just a pain in the ass. Anyhow, yeah. Now I'm going to raise the car on the lift and put the transmission oil if I can. I drain it all. So now I'm going to do that. I'm actually going to check if the SRS light is on. Maybe it's not on now because the module is out. I don't know. I don't know how that works yet. So anyhow, yeah. So anyway, so third day I took the stereo out because it wasn't working, and here in Canada you need the original stereo to get the vintage plates. So anyhow, so I made it work. I changed the capacitors on the stereo that were leaking in the bottom circuit board, but it could be more leaking, I'm guessing. I don't know if this is a normal functioning process of the stereo, but if you turn it on, it doesn't turn on. But if you put a tape, it picks a tape and it starts playing the tape. I don't know if there is audio. I haven't checked that out yet. If I eject, then I can select the turner. I don't know if that's because the antenna is not connected and it is not actually looking for any frequencies. So I don't know. The rest of stuff, you know, when I press these buttons and with the tape it works. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it will work, but at least it powers on, which it didn't do before. So now it's powering on and the cassette seems to play. So I don't know. I think that I have a friend that he's an electrician. Well, he's not an electrician. He is electrical engineer, and he knows about this kind of stuff. And I'm guessing maybe, you know, the receiver part of here for the tuner is not working. Maybe there's a bunch of capacitors there, so maybe there's many of them leaking at this point. That's one of my guesses. But I'm going to actually go to the car and see if I can connect it and see if I can turn it on. One thing though, when I connected it, here's the pinouts for the connector, and you see that illumination pin, which is this one. I was reading in a blog, in a post in NSX Prime, that this has to be powered, and actually the case has to be ground. Although it doesn't work, even if you have ground, you need to have the case ground. So what I'm going to do when I get to the car is I'm not going to measure anything. I'm just going to connect and see if it works, because now I know how to trigger it to work with the tape. The speakers are not going to work because it was wired with an external amp, as I showed you earlier, so I don't know, but the ground was sitting somewhere, so I think I'm going to ground it and see if it works, and no, we'll see. But I'm going to what I'm wondering, if I want to connect the antenna, so I want to connect these two and see if that will make a difference for the tuner. I don't think so, but I just want to try it. So I'm going to go to the car and then see if it works. Well, I put it in the car, as I don't know if I said anything yesterday, but put it in the car and it's the same thing. It goes into this loop of tape and tuner, and well, this doesn't do anything. Even if you connect an antenna, it doesn't do anything. I clean up the switch, which is all enclosed, but I pour that a little bit of deoxide, which is the best cleaner for that kind of stuff, or the one that I think is the best, or was recommended to me. It's not the best in the world. There's always something better. But anyhow, this thing turns on, but when you turns off, but it never turns on from here, which is, I think, the reason why this, I think it doesn't work. This is my guess, is that since the tuner controls, or the tuner, there's something wrong with the tuner, like if the tuner cannot be found, or whatever signal is not being sent back from the tuner or whatever, it doesn't go into tuner mode because it can't do that function. But as long as you put a piece of tape, then it turns on and tape mode. My guess is that there will be sound out of here. That's my guess. So and that's why, and when you eject the tape and then you try to move the tuner doesn't do anything. It doesn't change the band or anything. So there must be something wrong with that for sure. I changed only 3 capacitors, and I know around where the acid was, there were some tracks that had some acid going all the way through. So what I'm going to do is that I am going to change all the capacitors around those 3 capacitors in the bottom of the board that had the acid coming out of them. And so, because I actually don't know if those capacitors are good at all, and they were full of acid in the bottom, so I prefer to change them. And I'm going to follow the traces, because compared with the SRS unit, this one is in worse shape. So I want to make sure that the traces are all good going back. It could be that actually the traces are bad, and that's why the tuner doesn't work, so it's not getting power or something. So that's what I'm going to do, but I'm really tired of taking this thing apart because I have done it like 40 times already. So I think I'm going to do that on Monday, lunch break type stuff. I need a break from this. And plus I don't have the other capacitors, so I need maybe I will do it at night so I can pick up the capacitors tomorrow, which I have to get capacitors for the SRS unit. So yeah, I'm guessing that the capacitors in this area here, in the bottom of the board, they're bad. I need to desolder that and take apart the back to get behind it. So yeah, that's the status. I think it's a real pain, to be honest, in Canada to have for the vintage place to have the original stereo. I understand the reasoning behind it, but I can't spend, Williams Electronics $2,000 for a stereo. I bet they do a pretty good job, but I mean, I think I could like carnage another stereo. I have like 30 stereos from my sub. Those are Clarion stereos. I think that Williams uses the same guts, and I could, take the display, put it here, and the buttons are almost the same, so I could maybe rewire them or something like that, so I could make something out of it. It would take me months, but I can't spend $2,000 on just to have a stereo that, it looks the same. In that case, I prefer to, if the cassette works, then I prefer to just leave it with cassette and then connect my phone through, those cassette stereo adapters, and that's about it. I mean, that would be the cheapest solution. So, yeah, but I would like to make it work because I like to listen to the news every so often. So, so that's what anyways, we will try to fix it. It's no hurry. This is the 4th day I have the car, so I mean, I think that's pretty good progress in my books. This thing wasn't working. Now at least it powers on and it looks like the cassette is working, so I mean, that's pretty good. So yeah, we will see the rest of the circuit board with my friend, and whatever discovery I have, we have, sorry, I will keep you guys updated with it.